You've just gone through a breakup and you're wondering, are they reflecting? Are they even aware of what they've done? Are they going to come back? A few things we want to take into consideration here. First, we want to remember that someone with an avoidant attachment style, well, they're generally afraid of vulnerability, intimacy, rejection. Reaching out to an ex-partner may be terrifying. What if they're not received well? What if that ex-partner is upset with them? What if that ex-partner doesn't want to see them? And those can be thoughts that someone with an avoidant attachment style will struggle with. Another thing that they tend to struggle with is the anxiety that's created within them in just reaching out to an ex. A lot of times they're stuck with negative thoughts. They've had a lifetime of being rejected, of being pushed aside. And what we've learned is that if we keep thinking about a negative experience, it becomes a mood. And if we've moved from thinking about it for hours and now we're thinking about it for weeks and accumulating one negative experience on top of another, it starts to become a pattern. And as years go by, if we keep holding on to past negative experiences, it becomes a personality. So while that person may want to reach out to you, depending on how many years they've been locked in past trauma, it might be very difficult for them to reach out. Now, what you want to keep in mind for you and a relationship going forward is what sort of a person do you want to build a life with? Do you want to be in a relationship with someone who is not on the healing journey, who's not working on their triggers, who's not working on being emotionally available, intelligent, and fit to be in a relationship with you? Or are you willing to settle and work with someone who you know will always rush out whenever it gets emotionally uncomfortable? Are you always going to be the one to reach out and pull them back in? Because after a while, what happens with many of us is that we start to get tired of putting in the effort all the time. Now, what we want to do before we get to a space of anger, upset, resentment, is to remember that those with an avoidant attachment style, just like you, who might have an anxious attachment style, struggle to regulate emotions, to stay grounded, to get a hold of our triggers quick enough and say, sit still, let me dissect this. This has got nothing to do with my present. This is caused by someone else in my past. And I'm now reacting because I've gotten used to being in this survival mode. And so we want to remember that so we could empathize and we can let go of carrying the burden of believing that it's got something to do with us. It's, we don't want to feel like I haven't done enough. I must have said something painful, wrong, whatever it was. We don't want to take the responsibility of blame. We want to be able to see that trauma creates our thoughts and our reactions. And at the same time, we can take responsibility. We can look at the situation and think of ways we could have been different. We could have acted differently. How do we want to move forward? We want to see that we are not attached to someone else's trauma. We're not fighting with their trauma. We can let it go. The person who's meant to be with you is a person who will have enough emotional strength and willpower to push through the fears and get to where you are. I hope this helps.